Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
That's correct. You're right about the isolation. We're doing a lot of science inside and then doing some spacewalk outside in the water. Living together with among the four of us, and then we have two half decks, James and Hank, helping us out. So six of us, with the support from the ground team, we're living and working together. The schedule's pretty tight. You have some malfunctions here and there, and then you have to deal with it. So, in that aspect, it's really close to spaceflight. Sure. So we're doing some spacewalks, related to some studies for exploration. So we're testing out some equipment, the operational concept. A lot of them are different because you're not wearing a spacesuit, and it's underwater. You have the water resistance, sometimes helping you, sometimes not, and you have buoyancy that you have to fight against. It's similar to the neutral buoyancy lab when we train for a spacewalk. But other than that, you have to work with your buddy, your EV crew, and a little bit of help from your support divers. But in terms of working together with your EV crew, it's a lot of similarity with the spacewalk.
I hope to help everybody learn some more about some future technologies to help us visit an asteroid and get samples, and even just operational techniques for how we coordinate between the ground and astronauts when we have long communication delays. Yeah, for example, one of the spacewalks we're doing involves surveying rocks with the assumption that it'll take 10 minutes between us saying what we're seeing and the ground getting that information. So we'll do a circuit that'll take us about 10 minutes so that we can have the time to get instructions from the ground on exactly what they want us to get by the time we get back to that spot to actually take some type of rock sample. I hope the future holds a lot of cooperation. The fact that we've had an international program to explore space has really helped us keep that program going between administrations and regardless of what's been going on politically. So yes, there is strife between countries, but we've been able to keep working with those countries sometimes very, very peacefully with the space program, regardless of what's been going on the ground.
Well, in the future, I think we'll have multiple opportunities to continue to work with the Russians, even though we'll have our own commercial space vehicles, as well as a vehicle that will take us beyond low Earth orbit. We've had, in the past, we've worked very well with the Russians on the Apollo Mir program, and at that time, the Cold War was still going on. So I think that despite what's going on in the headlines right now, I think we'll continue to have a great relationship with the Russians.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's like between wedding. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear. Want to take a hat with the badge?
Oh, so for example, one of the things we're doing is we've got these badges. They keep track of our proximity to each other to help get to get information about how we're relating to each other. That, in addition to a different type of sensor that checks our heart rate, the light we're exposed to, our activity levels. Then we're actually doing saliva samples so that people can tell what type of hormones we've got at certain times of the day, and all to help us better understand how people interact in such a closed environment.
That's all for future exploration missions.
Okay, so we were doing the microgravity circuit, and what we were looking at was if we went to an asteroid and we brought certain tools along with us, will we be able to exploit the asteroid the way we need to? So we had some cutting tools as well as a drill, and we had some cores where we could take core samples. So we were testing out those tools just to see that if we did actually go to an asteroid, will we be able to effectively use the tools to take a float sample, to take a core sample, and even set up the equipment effectively. So it was pretty intense, but we had a lot of help from the divers and the EVA instructors. Well, some of it is like a part of it is communicating very well. So if we're on an asteroid and we're getting instruction from mission control, that communication has to be such that I understand exactly what they want me to do, and I can show them exactly what I'm seeing so that we can communicate well, and I can excavate the site well so that we can bring back the critical geology and data that we need. Like the circuit. Yeah, the circuit that you talked about earlier.
Some of the what?
The
Other spacewalks.
Okay, so some of the other spacewalks we'll be doing will be even more focused on exploration, and it's going to be really walking on the surface of a celestial body, and we'll introduce a time delay, which is a 10 minutes delay between any message that comes from us in space and that goes back to mission control. So those spacewalks are designed so that they go in a circuit, and we first survey an area, and then we go around and we come back after 10 minutes so that mission control during those 10 minutes has time to decide which samples we're supposed to pick up. And we have to take this time delay into account into the operations concept and into even the design of those spacewalks, those exploration spacewalks.
Thank you.
I mean, depends.
So I think we're probably less sensitive to smells as we stay down here longer and longer, so it would take a visitor coming in, just kind of like if something happened in your house. Anyway. But the claustrophobia, we have lots of windows, and we got great views out here with fish, so really I am certain that none of us have felt claustrophobic.
not at all.
And hygiene is good. I mean, we have a shower, we have everything we need, we brush our teeth every day, so we're still doing good so far.
Relatively good.
I would say it's comparable to maybe 1 or 2 modules connected on board the space station. And the space station is a lot bigger. But, we can go outside if we want to, unlike the station, where you really have to schedule and plan for an EVA.
Well, we have a cubby hole, and so the cubby hole is actually pretty big. At first we thought it was about the size of a shoebox, but it turns out you actually have a lot of space. But there is also the time that the divers have to take to pot down the items that we needed. So, we brought several T-shirts, shorts, underwear, and, regular toiletry items. So we're not really deprived of much. So.
And we even have the internet, so we brought our
And
iPads and iPhones.
Some personal cameras.
And food.
And food. It's too bad you don't have the Japanese food.
Lots of food.
Yeah. That's coming.
And fish.
Wow.
All right, thank you, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you say hello in Japanese again?
Oh.
おはようございます。
おはようございます。
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
And then it's a French channel.
Oh.
All right, I think I heard someone. Go ahead. We hear you. We
Yeah.
hear you.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
おはようございます。
はい、実際に圧力が高いのは事実なんですけども、体的にはあんまり感じないですね。ただ、耳には圧力がやっぱりかかってるっていう感覚があってですね、ちょっと、鼓膜がこう押し付けられている、感じがします。ただ、体調はですね、忙しい中で、いろいろ作業していますけれども、私含めてクルー全員、元気で、作業に当たっています。はい、特にはないですね。で、酸素ですとか、二酸化炭素もそうですけども、そのあたりの成分っていうのは全部こうモニターしてコントロールしていまして、必要に応じて、供給するというシステムになってます。ですので、特に体に害を与える、逆に気分が高揚、むやみに高揚するようなことがないように、管理されています。はい、実はその作業まだ私はやってなくて、今日この後、その作業に当たる予定ですけれども、実際にはですね、ヘッドマウントディスプレイを使って、いろんな手順の、訓練をする、あるいはその手順自体を、見ると。これは将来宇宙ステーション、あるいは、将来の宇宙探査に向けて、こういったものを使えるかどうか、そういう検証を行う予定になっています。はい、そうですね。一緒にいる3人のクルー、みんなですね、それぞれ非常に能力の高い人たちなので、私としてはその全体をまとめるといいますか、必要に応じて必要な情報を提供すると、あるいはその仕事のしやすい、生活のしやすい環境を整えるというところに、意識を持っていってます。4人のクルー、それから2人の、テクニシャンいますけれども、みんなの協調作業、協力する姿勢、非常に素晴らしいものがあるので、そこの部分に関してはもう私は手放しでも全く問題ない状況になっています。はい、 おっしゃる通りです。実はですね、このアクエリアスの中にはトイレあるんですけれども、これは最終日に、地上に出る前にハッチを閉めて中の圧力を下げるんですね。で、その時に使うトイレでして、その時はハッチを閉めるのに外に出れないと。で、通常は海中に出てですね、そこで用を足します。でなので、まさに魚がすぐに寄ってきて、ついばむので、そういう意味で、魚に餌をあげましたというふうに追加させていただきました。All right, I think that was it for Yomiuri. Thank you for your question.
Bonjour. Bonjour. Alors là en ce moment on est à peu près à 10 km des côtes de Floride, on est à 25 mètres sous l'eau, vous pouvez voir la fenêtre derrière moi par laquelle on voit passer les poissons de temps en temps. On va rester enfermé dans ce module sous-marin pendant 9 jours et en fait on simule une mission vers un astéroïde ou une mission un peu plus profonde dans l'espace que ce qu'on fait en ce moment avec la station spatiale, une mission d'exploration comme ça. Ouais, tout à fait. Alors, c'est les mêmes conditions à l'intérieur. On a de l'isolation, on est loin du sol, on est obligé de se débrouiller tout seul. S'il y a un problème, on répare tout nous-mêmes. On a des communications avec le centre de contrôle qui gère nos activités et qui essaie de nous aider. On utilise tout notre équipement et on vit dans des conditions un peu difficiles. Le confort, vous imaginez, un peu minimal, c'est assez spartiate. Donc ça, c'est à l'intérieur. On a aussi un programme de recherche scientifique, comme c'est le cas dans l'ISS. Pour ce qui est à l'extérieur, tous les jours, on sort en scaphandre avec des casques de scaphandrier. On répète des techniques d'exploration qu'on utilisera par exemple sur un astéroïde. On a emmené avec nous, juste à l'extérieur, là, une espèce de foreuse spatiale. C'est spectaculaire qu'on va essayer de mettre en place. On pourrait prélever des échantillons sur un astéroïde qui, par définition, n'a pas ou très très peu de gravité. C'est difficile, ça pose des problèmes. J'ai pas très bien entendu votre question parce que malheureusement on a d'autres communications qui arrivent en même temps. Les conditions de vie, vous parlez? Eh ben, écoutez, regardez là, c'est l'endroit où on a le plus de place dans le module. Non, on dort dans des petits lits superposés. C'est un peu comme dans un sous-marin en fait. On a une douche, mais avec une quantité d'eau très limitée. Voilà, on n'a pas vraiment de toilette. On utilise la mer autour de nous pour s'occuper de cet aspect-là. Donc oui, on a emmené pour 9 jours. On n'a pas pu emmener 9 t-shirts, vous imaginez. Donc c'est un petit peu plus limité que ça. Voilà, mais dans la station spatiale, c'est la même chose en fait. Il faut s'habituer à ça, il faut vivre avec. Ça fait partie des conditions d'une mission spatiale et il vaut mieux le savoir avant qu'avoir la surprise en arrivant. Pardon? Ah, ce qui est le plus difficile, bah, en fait ça va parce que j'ai un équipage qui est vraiment super, donc on s'entend tous très très bien et tout se passe bien, mais je pense que sinon le plus difficile, si je fais un parallèle avec la station, c'est l'éloignement de ses proches pendant une durée assez longue. Hein. Une mission dans la station c'est 6 mois, les missions spatiales du futur elles sont encore plus longues, donc partir comme ça pendant 6 mois c'est pas facile. Donc l'isolement, la promiscuité, ça, je pense que c'est ça le plus difficile. Qui sur le long terme pose le plus de problèmes plus que des choses très très matérielles comme se brosser les dents juste une fois par jour au lieu de deux. Merci beaucoup. Thank you.
Come on back, Aki. Aki.
Okay.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. We hear you.
Well, I'll start out. So we get up in the morning. We have a conference with the top side in the morning, and we go over any questions we may have had from the day before, and we just meet with the top side. Then after that, Commander Aki and I, we had to get ready to go out to do one of the mock spacewalks that we do underwater. And that took a little bit of time to get up and running because we had a few issues with the communication in our helmets so that we can be able to talk to the crew inside the habitat and the top side. So that took a little time to get going. And then when we came back in, we had several surveys that we had to do and a couple other science experiments that we needed to do. And then the gentlemen that were stayed inside, I'll let them talk about what they were doing while we were outside doing this mock spacewalk.
So Thomas and I were supposed to spend the entire time doing experiments while Aki and Jeanette were doing the spacewalk, but because of the communications problems, I had to abort my science. Thomas went ahead and did them all, which is great, and I focused on the spacewalks. So we had to change the plan based on what situations pop up, and then we continued with the day.
So it's just like on the station, I'm guessing. There's a lot of different activities to do. There's inside science that's very, very important because station is a really nice laboratory for science. So you have to split your time between operational tasks and scientific and research tasks. So that's what we did yesterday, and that's what we'll keep on doing for the remaining 8 days of the mission. Also, we have several. I mean, it ranges from sensory and motor experiments in which we had to go back and forth in the habitat with our eyes closed and all kinds of sensors attached to our bodies, being filmed by cameras and with all those sensors recording data. It's for rehabilitation after sensory motor accidents. So we had this. This one I enjoyed a lot because I can see some applications in medicine, and I'm hoping it's going to help people recover from accidents. We're also doing some human behavior experiments. We're all wearing badges. We track, together with other parameters, our proximity and our social interaction. And it is aimed at understanding better which kind of interaction people have in such close environments to apply this knowledge for future exploration missions.
Well, we talk to the folks up the ground, every day, regularly. If we have any questions or comments or observations, we'll talk to the folks. We make requests to pot things down. Potting down means to deliver items to us, and then potting up means the other way around. We may have a failed equipment that gets pot up. So with the ground team, we're in constant communication, maybe much better than on board the space station because that goes through the satellite. in terms of family, well, yeah, Jeanette showed the phone. So we do have internet down here, so we can email, we can use other means to communicate with our family if we want to. Yeah, they're hiding back there right now, but yeah, James and Hank are the professionals and the keeper of this habitat down here. They know everything about this facility, how they operate this habitat, and the ground team. So they are the people behind the scenes, but we just do the mission. But without their help, we can't do anything. So we learn from them. We ask where, what to do with what, and they tell us, and they keep our spacesuit in great shape. I think that was it from George. Thank you very much for your question.
George. We got Canada next, and then Florida.
And I believe next is CTV News. Is that right? It's cool.
It's humid.
And we have a lot of fish outside. Great view out the window.
We're the aquarium now. The fish are watching us.
So we're underwater for 9 days. This is a 9-day mission, and we conduct different various experiment and also spacewalk. So everything's geared towards helping out the International Space Station, all the equipment, the new equipment that we're developing, and also for exploration in the future. So we do a lot of spacewalks. Every single day we go outside. Someone's going to go outside and do some spacewalk. So that is to check out the equipment that we have, a drill for an asteroid mission, or go explore on maybe Mars or the moon, and look at the operational concept, whether it's feasible or not, and help gain that knowledge for the development.
Well, we spent the whole week together prior to coming down here, and I learned then that we're going to have a great time. So it's been pretty easy so far. No mishaps with the shower, nothing like that. So these guys are pretty accommodating, and they actually help we take care of each other. So it's going to be another good 8 days.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Good morning. So this is going to be a 9-day mission. We splashed down on the 21st and we're coming up on the 29th. We have a busy schedule. This is mission day 3 and we have a busy schedule ahead of us. We're doing a lot of spacewalks every single day and then we have a lot of science inside the habitat.
Well, some of the things that we're doing, like for example, the spacewalks. The spacewalks are we're testing out tools and different things that we may need once we go to exploit an asteroid, for example, or go to the moon, or maybe even to Mars. So some of the tools we have a drill, we have several cutting tools, we have a bunch of different techniques for attaching ourselves to different surface points. So all of these tools we're trying out and we're giving feedback to the vehicular activity people on whether or not they'll work, whether or not we think the simulation was an actual simulation that would work on an asteroid. So we're testing out a lot of tools, and then we're even looking at comm delays and different things like that. If we go to Mars, there may be a comm delay. So testing out how we can work effectively and perform well with a comm delay. So we're about 6 miles off the shore of, we're in Key Largo in Isla Morada. So we're about 5 to 6 miles off the shore there.
60 feet below the surface.
And 60 feet below the surface, that's right. That's cool. I think she's watching the video.
Yeah.
I believe next up is Fox TV. Yes,
Yes,
we
we
can
can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
Well, we're, 64 feet underwater, just off the shore of Key Largo. And we're living here, working here together, the 4 of us, and then 2 have technicians in this habitat, and for 9 days. We're doing some science experiments and technology development inside the habitat, and also going outside, doing a spacewalk and checking out some cool stuff. And this is all for the International Space Station and for future space exploration.
From my perspective, never having been in space, but having worked with crews in space, this is helping me understand much better the time pressures, the stresses that the crews in orbit are experiencing. So for me, this is a great analog to how it would feel to be on a space mission.
And, you know, for someone that has been on board the space station, yes, it is a great analog. And, you know, you work together, and there's a lot of failures going on, and you have to cope with that. You have to adjust, and you have to help each other out, and also take care of your own self. So there's a lot of similarities right there. So that prepares us for space flights.
I think there's a lot of, as we said, the similarities as far as the environment is concerned, because as you can see, of course, just like in the space station, we cannot just leave the vehicle and go back home. So we're stuck here for 9 days, whether we like it or not. We have to work together. So inside, it's very cramped. Space is at a premium, which is the same on space station. Our daily lives are being run by mission control, which is the same as on space station. And we have a lot of science to do inside and space folks on the outside. So yeah, I think it's the closest thing you can possibly find on Earth as being on a space station.
And then as far as building a team, like we're 4 different people with 2 half-techs, and we can come together and become a team. And that's what has to happen on the space station in order to accomplish the mission. So I think we pretty much have come together and made a great team, and we've got 8 days to go.
Well, we'll see about going together, but definitely, you know, we're all going up, and maybe to even beyond, you know, to Mars, asteroids, wherever it takes, and you know, hopefully we get to go up together.
Sign me up.
Fingers crossed. NASA or NASA
NEEMO.
Yeah.
NASA NEEMO mission, NEEMO
Put it right here.
website. You know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Weather Channel was the last one.
Oh,
Oh, that's the music from the Weather Channel, yeah.
Copy, thanks. Or something. Good morning, Weather Channel. Loud and clear. Okay, copy. Akihiko or Aki is fine.
Aki's fine. Really.
Hoshide.
checking the weather.
Thing. Yeah, absolutely. So, we're in a habitat which is about a school bus size, and we're living together, all four of us, and two half-decks here, and living and working together for 9 days. Now, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of science, a lot of spacewalk, a lot of engineering development, but there's a lot of things going on, and we need to help each other out, take care of ourselves as well, and it's a really similar situation, just like a space flight. I flew on a shuttle and I was on board a space station for 4 months, but I think this analog mission will really prepare you for space flight.
We've got equipment that we're testing to help us retrieve core samples from an asteroid per se. In addition to that, we're working on how to operate further and further from the planet, which means we're going to have to understand how to control operations when there is a long time delay, anywhere from 4 to 20 minutes. Yes, absolutely. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what we're going to do is we're going to simulate a comm delay. For example, if we go to Mars, we may have about a 5-minute comm delay. And so we're going to practice how to operate effectively when I send a message and it takes 30 seconds to send or 30 seconds to get there, and then the person sending me a message, it takes 30 more seconds. So that's only a 1-minute delay, but that 1 minute can also be, it could, in a situation where we're trying to put together equipment, where we're trying to exploit a site, it can make a difference in how we operate. And so we're learning how to operate more effectively with either sending text messages or something like that. So. Okay, we're going to commercial. Okay.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You're watching NASA TV.